Good morning, I'm the Mainly Digger, and we are talking about foods of Maine. Not digging, it's too cold. Foods of Maine, it's like the Maine staples, what I think, as a Mainer, foods that equate to Maine. First on the list, without a doubt, is lobster. Like, people flock to Maine for lobster. I love lobster. There's multiple ways to eat it. You boil it, you steam it, but you get butter or garlic butter. You melt it, and then you dip the lobster meat in the butter. It's absolutely delicious. Weird things people do that I will not, absolutely not, is eat the tamale. The tamale is, I'm probably saying it wrong, is the pancreas and the liver of the lobster. It is a greenish, grayish color. It looks like baby poop. I'm not gonna eat something that looks like baby poop. I just can't do it. And then the coral, which are the eggs of the female, not gonna do it. It's weird to me. But that's just me. Lobster rolls. I love lobster rolls. It's self-explanatory. Lobster meat cut up, put it in a sauce, normally mayonnaise or Miracle Whip, and then put into some type of bread, or traditionally it's like a hot dog bun. But like Mainers have a festival for it. It's the Down East Lobster Roll Festival. It's in Thompson Point in Portland. People flock to this place. Restaurants from all over come with their recipes. And it's like a chili cook-off, except for lobster, or lobster rolls. And it's amazing. It's delicious. It's great. You go down there, it's a good time. Next one is Moxie. Moxie is a Maine drink. It's an acquired taste. It really is. Like, it's bitter. Like, it's bitter like Mainers. Mainers are bitter people, sarcastic and hilarious, but there's a bitter twinge to them. And that is Moxie. It was made by Dr. Augustine Thomas, probably said that wrong, from Union, Maine. It was first produced in Lowell, Mass. And this is a fighting point. Mainers will fight you. If you say it's from Massachusetts, or Mass-made, we will argue, like, to the end, the bitter end, that it is a Maine drink. It was made the drink of Maine in 2005. It is now, since I think it was 2015. It's made in New Hampshire, not Maine. It's kind of sad, but yeah, it generates, the flavor comes from the Gentan, Gentan root extract. I definitely said that wrong. The patent is for 1876. It was one of the very first soft drinks. It was bought by the cola company, or Coca-Cola company. Sorry. It's very bitter and medicine-y like taste to it. It's strange, acquired taste. There's a Moxie festival in Lisbon, Maine, and it's probably the only thing they've ever produced in Lisbon. But the festival, it's fun to go to. Like, it has Moxie. I don't know. Next one is Boston baked beans. A state like that is my childhood. Boston baked beans, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Every meal, you would have it with every meal in different ways and varieties. My favorite is the Quebec style, which is maple syrup, and it's more like a breakfast meal. Delicious. I love it. I love Boston baked beans. Our next one is Whoopie Pies. Mainers claim that it comes from Maine. Whoopie Pies come from Maine. If you don't know what a Whoopie Pie is, you take 2 pieces of chocolate cake, like round pieces, like a bun, like a hot hamburger, and then on the inside you have cream, vanilla cream, and you put it together. It is the most delicious thing. Like I said, Mainers will fight and argue about this, that it was made in Maine. It actually comes from the Pennsylvania Dutch, or the Amish. And like I've had multiple disagreements because I'm from Maine, but I'm living in Pennsylvania about this. Like another food like Mainers will argue about. Absolutely delicious. There's a place in Maine, a store. It's actually a gas station that where like they first started it, is where they'll take brownies or like chocolate brownies, and then to make it that way. That'll be the bun. Absolutely delicious. I love my Whoopie Pies. There's actually another festival, the Whoopie Pie Festival in Skowhegan, Maine. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely. Fiddleheads are baby ferns, and they're very healthy for you. The way Banner's doing it, they're not so healthy. Like you fry them, and then you have like not grease, but like butter. They're delicious. Salt, butter. It's absolute. Everybody has their own recipe. Delicious. New England clam chowder. No one else makes it as great as in Maine or Massachusetts. I love New England clam chowder. Like, I love the home recipes. Everybody has their home recipe, and everybody makes it differently. It's absolutely it's Maine. Fluffanutter or Fluff. If you've never had Fluff in your life, you need to go figure that stuff out. You need to go eat that. You need to go relive your childhood and eat Fluffanutter sandwiches. Fluff is marshmallow that's like either ground up or stirred up or melted and put in a jar. Fluffanutter sandwiches are peanut butter on bread and then Fluffanutter in the middle, and you put it together. Every snow day as a child in Maine, we would have hot cocoa and Fluffanutter sandwiches. Oh my, that is my childhood. And not the most healthy snack, lunch ever, but that's without a doubt. Oh, I miss those days. Like, if there's a wicked storm coming, I guaranteed in your storage cabinet with the food that you know, staples to live by, you have Fluff in there and some beer. But anyway, that's another story. Blueberry pies and apple pies, like that was my youth. Like going out and picking blueberries and apples for summertime, fall and winter, to store them during those times. And like whoever's mother, grandmother, sisters, whoever would make apple pies, and you would have apple and blueberry pies throughout the year. Oh my God, that's my youth. I loved it. But yeah, apples and blueberries are abundant in Maine. It's one of our agricultural things that we have. Apple farms, blueberries. I love them. Like, I'll eat them by the handful, especially if they're off the bush or the tree. Maine beer. Beer is a staple in Maine. Like, it just is. Call us alcoholics, call us drunks, but it's good beer that we make. There's over 20 companies that make beer in Maine. Breweries. I just named some of them. Maine Brewing Company, Allagash, Mass Landing, Baxter, Geary, Northern Maine. There's over 20. But for me, like, what makes makes Maine beer is the seasonal ales, which I can only have one of them and one like at a time before, like, I don't want to drink them anymore, because it's just the flavor. I drink it for the flavor, I guess. Any pumpkinhead ale or any blueberry ale, like, to me that's fall. But yeah, I love it. Also, we're talking about beer, like, old Mainers have a beer recipe and they brew it. Every old Mainer, and it will knock you out. It will knock you down. It will take you by surprise, and it will sit you on the couch without a doubt. and it always happens. You go over to the house, talking beer, talking drinks, and they'll come out, they'll go in the closet, bring out a bottle of beer, and it's all like, it's dusty, and you're like, try this, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, I'm not gonna be rude. And it's delicious, absolutely delicious. And you get halfway through it and you're like, man, I gotta sit down. This is a little much. Our next, I won't call it a food, but it is a staple, is Maine made maple syrup. Absolutely. On everything. Meat, pancakes, everything. My wife sent me a little bottle of Maine syrup. It's kind of a joke because I like a lot of syrup on my stuff. But yeah, like anywhere in Maine you can get maple syrup. On the side of the road, someone has it, someone's selling it. A farmer, I guaranteed he's got a spare surplus, and he's willing to part with it because he's got a surplus. Maine made maple syrup is absolutely delicious, and every family has their own recipe. Every farmer has their own recipe. It's amazing. And that's it. Those are my main foods. There's a whole bunch more that I probably forgot and didn't bring up. I'm the Mainly Digger out. Hopefully next time I'll be digging.